So we've got this Claber timer here. Now we're recording this at the end of January, so we've just got past winter, we're moving towards spring. This is a really common time for people to start thinking about their watering again, and they're thinking about putting tap timers back out, tap splitters back out, and it's still a bit early for that. So what we've had is we've had a customer get in touch. They've returned this timer to us. They're complaining that it's leaking. It was working fine last year, but put it out this year, and now they've discovered it's got a leak. We can usually say at this time of year, this has probably been damaged by frost, but before we say for certain, we're going to pop it open, take a look. I'm going to talk you through the sort of things we're looking at, what that will indicate that it's frost damage, and that just might save you a bit of time in the future. So it just so happens that this timer is a Claber, but we always look for the same things on any brand of timer. Clabers are really handy though, because when you open them up, you've got access to all the innards without having to take multiple screws out, etc. So this has worked out really well for us. So I've popped open the timer and I'm taking a look. And the first thing I'm looking at is this tube running from the top down towards the valve. And immediately I can see there's a very long hairline crack here. That's textbook frost damage. So the reason for that is when this timer sits on the tap, the water's entering in the top, it's running down to this diaphragm valve here, and then it's sitting in this section of the timer. That means when the timer's not in use, you've got this standing water here. When the pressure and the temperature drops, this water freezes and expands out, cracking this plastic. And I suspect if we put this on the tap, we'll probably get some squirting water, or at least some weeping water out of this crack. And this is what the customer's describing. Really easy to see on the Claber timers, much more difficult on, say, a Gardena timer, where the innards are locked within a back section. We'd have to disassemble it to see it. But even if we did, it's the same idea. So they'd have this top section of pipe down towards the valve, and it will crack above the valve. Really, really common. In some cases, you might find that actually it cracks the inlet at the top. That's much more rare. Generally speaking, it's pipe that cracks. We haven't got one here to show you, but often another item that gets damaged by frost is a tap splitter. It's very easy to forget that these also need to be removed over winter. They present in much of the same way. You'll usually find a crack in the casing of the splitter itself, and water will usually jet or weep out of it. Again, it's usually towards the top section of the splitter. Not sure why it always seems to expand up, but that seems quite a common theme. In some of these timers, you can actually repair this sort of damage. So Clabers are really good for this. This whole back section is one molded bit of plastic. So we can simply just replace the back section, move this valve onto a new section, and the timer's back up and running. Unfortunately, it's not that easy on all timers. Some you may actually need to just chuck the timer away and replace it. So if you're unsure what needs to be done there, feel free to email our team. We'll let you know if it's repairable or not. So it's just a little reminder, once your watering season is coming to an end at the end of summer, get these timers off the tap, remove the batteries, make sure you give them a really good shake out. One thing to also mention, as I said, the water sits in this top section of the timer. So if you're storing this in a shed or garage where the temperatures can drop particularly low, make sure that when you're shaking this timer out, you're also turning it upside down and getting all the water out of that top section. It's not unusual for us to have reports of customers who have done the right thing and removed it from the tap, but what they've done is they've just popped it straight into the garage, and this section still has water in it. Temperatures have dropped below freezing and the timer's been damaged even though it's been removed. Same with the tap splitters. So if you're storing it outside where it can still get cold, upside down, very good shake. Right way up, very good shake.